Before I read you the extract from the Escape of Athelwan, I just wish to say a few words about bullying. Have you ever been bullied at school? It appears that statistically about half of us have. Indeed, it also appears that meeting bullies is easy. They seem, given half a chance, to be lurking in the dark corners of every playground in every school in the world. So how to cope with a school bully? Well, the teaching staff at your school will have training and experience in dealing with these undesirables. So therefore, if you are being bullied at school, go straight to the nearest teacher and tell them what's been happening. Don't hesitate, just do it. Then, when you get home, make sure your parents know as well. That done, you have a right to expect these important people in your life to get the bullying stopped. Bullying is wrong. Very, very wrong. So don't be intimidated into silence, and don't think, even for 1 second, that by telling on the bully, you are being a snitch. Of course, if like Charlie Braithwaite you're lucky enough to have a best friend who is a wizard, and that wizard has taught you the odd bit of magic, then you can have a little fun at the bully's expense. I'm now going to read you how Charlie deals with Eric Sharp, the school bully in the Escape of Athelwan, in which novel Charlie has to travel back to 1940 to try and prevent an evil sorcerer from helping some of the nastiest, vilest bullies who ever lived, the Nazis. Charlie has just won a game of marbles, but, true to form, Eric is having none of it. That's a mistake, of course, because if there's one thing one definitely should not do, it's to mess with Charlie Braithwaite. By the way, in 1940s England, the game of marbles, played with brightly coloured glass balls, was very popular among schoolboys at the time, and if you lost the game, you could lose your marble as well. One other thing, a dauber is a very large, often quite beautiful marble, and therefore more rare and precious to its owner. Well, I don't care what you or this lot say. I want my dauber back, growled Eric, by now becoming really mad. No chance, said Charlie firmly. He turned on his heels and began to push his way through the crowd. You can forget your dauber now, he continued. It's mine. Bye. What's your name, laddie? Shouted Eric, coming after him and by now very concerned that he was about to lose his reputation as the school's hardest pupil. Charlie Braithwaite, shouted someone. Well, Braithwaite, said Eric menacingly, I suggest you give me both my dauber and that blue one you've got in your pocket. You might just be able to eat your dinner then. Without any warning, Charlie stopped dead in his tracks, turned, stared icily into Eric's angry brown eyes, muttered something under his breath, and clicked his fingers. How can anyone, with spiders growing in his ears, pretend to be such a big man? He said. Get yourself in the bath, Sharpie. You're filthy, smelly, and a total disgrace to the school. Suddenly, one of the girls who'd been watching the confrontation pointed to one of Eric's ears. Something black, furry, and very, very ugly was poking its head out of one of them. It's true! It's true! She screamed. Sharpie's got spiders in his ears. Look! Big black furry ones. They're horrible. Just like him. Eric was about to say something nasty to her when he felt an itch in his right ear. Reaching to it automatically to give it a good scratch, he discovered something small, very unpleasant, and extremely hairy. Shocked, his hand went to his other ear, And then the awful realisation of what was actually nesting in there came to him. Now he too began screaming and crying, but Eric was screaming for his mother. As is so typical of the bully, no one, not even those who were supposed to be his friends, really liked Eric Sharp, and as all the children of Dimthwaite School gathered around the howling and yowling thug, they laughed loudly and gleefully at his discomfort. "I've got to go home," he screeched eventually, as spiders began coming down his nose as well. "I've got to get me mum to get rid of these horrible things." Then, with a finger in both spider-infested ears, and while screaming for his mam at the top of his voice, he ran out of the playground in the general direction of his home and an appointment with a very old-fashioned tin bath.